Now it's time for this week's Ag Minute, and last week we were in Dothan, Alabama, and this week, Lauren, you're on the other side of the state over in Texas to tell us about the history of one of my favorite soft drinks.
Thanks, Mike. I'm here at the Dr. Pepper Museum in Waco, Texas. This building is a 100-year-old building. It was an old bottling company, and what they've done is they've created this museum to educate and entertain the public about the oldest soft drink in America, Dr. Pepper.
The birth of Dr. Pepper was at Morrison's Old Corner Drugstore, which you can find a replica of here at the Dr. Pepper Museum. A young pharmacist named Charles Alderton would mix carbonated drinks at the soda fountain in his spare time. He loved the way the drugstore smelled, with all those fruit syrup flavors mixing together in the air. So he decided to mix those 23 flavors together to create a drink that tasted the way the drugstore smelled. It wasn't long before Charles's drink became a hit at the soda fountain, and customers came in asking for it and called it a Waco. That Waco drink became so popular that other soda fountains started asking for the syrup concoction in a bottle. Before long, Charles wasn't able to produce enough syrup to supply the demand. In 1891, Mr. Morrison, the owner of the drugstore, saw the success of the Waco drink and wanted to start bottling it. So he opened the Artesian Manufacturing Bottling Company, which would later become the Dr. Pepper Company, in the very same place where the Dr. Pepper Museum is housed today. In 1904, Dr. Pepper was introduced at the World's Fair in St. Louis, and just a few years later, Dr. Pepper became known as the King of Beverages. In the 1960s, it was associated with rock and roll music and on Dick Clark's American Bandstand TV show. It was known as the Friendly Pepper Upper. The Dr. Pepper Museum opened in 1991 and houses 120 years of Dr. Pepper memorabilia, including the original Dr. Pepper bottling machine and a lifelike character of Dr. Charles Alderton, the one who invented the drink and who even speaks to tell his own Dr. Pepper success story here at the museum.
When I was a young man, I worked behind.
If you'd like to visit the Dr. Pepper Museum here in Waco, Texas yourself, you can find out more information on our website at twilatv.org.